Our Will of Africa photographic tour of Botswana continues. Our journey started at Elephant Sands. We then moved up to the Khwai River, where we had some incredible sightings. In this episode, we explore the Khwai River a bit more and move into the Mobabe Depression.
This trip was really about a collaboration between myself, Will of Africa and Ironman. I've been part of the Ironman brand now for about 4.5 years, and Mick and I thought how brilliant it would be to actually put our equipment to real tests, and believe me, we've tested it.
Botswana is home to some of the world's most incredible wildlife sightings and is right on South Africa's doorstep. The tour ended on the banks of the Chobe National Park, and we couldn't wait for the next leg. Mick van Zyl was well on his way in joining us in the Kwai.
So I'm catching up with the rest of the crew who left on Saturday, 3 days ago. So I left Joburg at about 10 o'clock. I've been on the road for 9 hours and 20 minutes. No, I lie, 7 hours and 20 minutes. I'm sleeping over at Letlakani at a lodge next to the road. Curfew in Botswana at the moment is 4 in the morning till 10 in the evening. So I'll be all right tonight. Tomorrow morning I'll be up at, well, just a little after 4. I want to hit the road at 5 just as it starts getting light. Don't really want to be on the road in the dark in Botswana. And then I've got to get up to Maun. Then from Maun I've got to get up to sort of the Kwai region, and I've got a coordinate which I'm heading to, and hopefully the maps take me straight there.
We were stationed at Camp Tsar, close to the Mobabe village. We've just arrived back at camp and the people are making a bit of a lunch. I'm quite tired. I think everyone's a bit tired. But later this afternoon we're going out again and I can't wait to get some beautiful shots of the elephants.
What's in there, my friend?
How was the morning?
The morning was fantastic. We saw many nice things. We saw you nearly getting stuck in the water. With the main guide obviously advising you where to drive.
Ek is besig om vir die manne gaar patties te doen. En ons doen dit sommer in die ronde potte. Want die swart potte is ons nou maar die lekkerste om die hitte te vergelyk. So ja, Tina het klaar die tomaties, and she's done the tomatoes, and she's done all the gherkins and everything else. They were brook. So
No, you're not.
today is going to be like a quick lunch on the Khwai River.
Lekker.
Hallo.
Hoe was jouw ochtend?
Excellent. Stunning. So much to see.
Ja, nee.
It's a beautiful place.
Mr. Recovery.
Cheers, cheers.
Eerste een.
Wat say?
The essence of the whole Will of Africa philosophy and how we sort of run our trips comes with obviously lots of planning up front. Over the last 13 years, 14 years, we've learned a lot about different destinations, what makes those destinations special, but at the same time, where do we find something that's unique for our clients to photograph? Now, Will of Africa's slogan is, we are memory smiths. We create memories. And part of that is to make sure that our clients get a chance to go to places where the bulk traveler would not normally go.
Right, we just had a nice shower at the campsite and some lunch, a bit of a nap, and now we're heading out again to see if we can find some game sightings. So Hopefully everything plays along, but the day as it went this morning was exceptional, and I am pretty sure it's going to be exceptional this afternoon with the beautiful light. Dr. Winterbach gave us a bit more detail on the area we are currently spending time in.
When we're at high flood levels, we have water coming out in various places out of the delta. One of them is the Khwai River along which we drove this morning, and that makes a few turns, and then right here at Mobabe village where we just drove through, it flows into the Mobabe depression area. From the Kwanda Linyanti we have the Savuti channel also coming into the Mobabe depression area and forming in the north the Savuti marsh area. And we have in the south here the wetland formed by the Khwai River. This system, when the old travelers came through, had water in from the first ones came through 1850, and it had water continuously until about 1900. Then it dried up and got water again in 1917, then in the 1920s, 1940s, and then the last time was in the 1980s, the same time that the Savuti marsh had water. And then from 2000 we went into another wet cycle, so the water started building up and the Khwai River started flowing. In 1997 the Khwai River stopped under the bridge at Northgate. So that river started flowing, and in 2007 was the first time that the water flowed into the depression again. And since then it hasn't stopped flowing.
We just saw an amazing herd of elephant in this oxbow pan, and we're going to try and capture them in the water. I don't know if you can pan out to that shot there, but trying to just get the mood of them in the water. They're very stationary at the moment, so you can see, and the light is very harsh at the moment, so they can't really have that $50,000 shot. But try and capture it. You can either go push your ISO up, push your ISO down, sorry, and have a slow shutter speed, and you're going to get a very washed out photograph. But there's not a lot that you can actually do right now at this moment, apart from enjoying this beautiful view and what Botswana is all about, because that is really gorgeous.
To give the light a bit of time to settle and become golden, we went to a nearby lodge to have some afternoon refreshments.
Mogotlo has been here for quite some time, and this is where I met Mick van Zyl about 4 years ago now, this year, where we started discussing our relationship with Ironman.
Yeah. Which one is?
This one is the stout. All these ones are the eggs.
I think let's try the English style ale.
Yeah. Kavango, here we go.
Hey, we're going to try one of these ones. Lekker gebrew in Maun, and local brewery. So we're trying to see what it's like.
Lekker.
Yeah.
Cheers.
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 This is the responsible one.
With the light just right, we sat at the Oxbow Lake and witnessed the magic. these are the final shots for today, and look at this view. Just look at that sunset. It is spectacular. This is real Africa. Oh, I feel so privileged to be here. If you get the chance, just come here. It's something very, very special. Well, what is the plan for today, and why are we not driving with our own vehicles?
So this morning we decided that we're going to take the game viewer and go in search for more lions and predators, going all the way down to the Khwai River system. And part of it is because we'd like to all get together, because in our own vehicle sometimes we get a bit isolated. So we're going to set up our vehicles, quickly do the solar panels, so that when we come back we've got charged batteries, hopefully. And yeah, we'll come back for lunch. So that's the plan for the day.
Can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop whoop? We had a very brief glimpse of some wild dogs that were on a hunt and not interested in posing at this stage.
If you look at these trees, the dead ones, all of them have been ring-barked. So they've been killed by elephants.
Dr. Winterbach gave us an interesting fact about the African jacana.
The female would mate with the male. The male would build the nest, she would lay the eggs, and then he would brood the eggs and raise the chicks, and she moves on and finds another male to mate.
Lekker hoor.
Ja, dat is een lekker physical shot.
Ah, say.
Bietjie ver, maar baie nice. It's actually quite nice to see them on the water level, and not most of the time we see them in trees. So to get that reflection on the water is unusual. It's nice to see it. So a lovely light this morning. So yeah, happy.
What I found interesting in the park is how friendly the other people were and how easily they gave us tip-offs to some beautiful sightings.
Okay, we're sitting here with 9 lions, some young ones, and probably 2 different litters out of the same pride. One of the advantages of the litters being roughly the same age is the cubs would go and suckle on any of the females that has milk. So as they lose some of the cubs due to mortalities, there's a bigger source of milk that they share between the young ones. The social unit of lions is the pride, and you have the pride males and the pride females. So the females are all related, being sisters and aunts and nieces. And you have the Pride Male Coalition that comes in from outside. They have cubs. The cubs grow up in the pride. And at some point, these males will be kicked out by other males from outside. The females stay within the pride. And if we look at the adult lion population, you have anywhere between 2 to 4 adult females for each adult male. And that is the result of the young males being kicked out and having to fend for themselves. And they're not as good hunters as the experienced lions.
We also had some great Kwai entertainment. A young baboon that knows the cameras are on him. A leopard. We've got a leopard. A very quick glimpse of a leopard that didn't really want to be seen.
So we've seen wild dog, lion and leopard in one morning. Pretty good going.
The sightings we had in the Kwai, we were very fortunate. We saw wild dog, we saw lion, we saw that actually 3 times while we were in the Khwai community area. Wild dog is very special to see because they were at some stage on the red list, which makes that a very special sighting. We had 9 lions in the Kwai area. They were so docile, it was just fast asleep. Now and then you had a bit of an interaction. And yeah, beautiful elephants. I mean, at the Khwai River, you just get these hordes and hordes of elephants coming through. So basically you've got small family units. You've got the matriarch and maybe 4, 5, 6 females and then all their offspring. Phenomenal to see them coming through every time.
We had some lovely sightings this morning. We're back at camp and it is about 38 to 39 degrees. It's very hot. So what I've done is I've got the Ironman shower. And the best thing in Africa when you're really hot. There we go. Whew. Sure. Goeiste. What's happening?
Making some sandwiches, ham and cheese, mustard. That time of day.
Lekker. We were very happy to see Mick van Zyl arriving at camp after a long stretch from Johannesburg.
I left Letlakani at 6 o'clock. I got to Maun at 10 o'clock. And then shopping in Maun is not for the faint-hearted. It's just what a mess. Anyways, I eventually left Maun at 12 o'clock. 3 hours to get here. The road's pretty ordinary.
Well done. It's one of those dusty bowls that you never forget when you leave here.
But in any case, I'm here.
Quite a lucky one.
I am here. Oh.
Our prediction was you're going to be at 3 o'clock and then I saw it by 3:30. Well, I'm very glad you're here.
Cheers.
The rest of the gang decided to chill at camp, while some of us went on to another game drive to go look for big herds of elephants.
The last breath of summer is blowing down our necks. And soon we'll wave goodbye to the fleeting bliss. Because you are like a tidal wave, just ripping up my life, not living without a trace. And you know that I'm your silent patient. You know
Botswana has the largest elephant population on the continent. It is estimated that there are over 120,000 elephants.
For your hands to hold me up, I'll be holding on through the winter. For your kiss to wake me up.
Elephants follow ancient migration routes between countries, and it's very important to know what corridors to protect and conserve, so increasing human populations don't clash with elephant populations.
Botswana, because of the land use that they've planned, we have the Northern Conservation Zone, that's very large. We also have the Southern Conservation Zone with the Central Kalahari and the Kalahari Transfrontier Park. And in total, Botswana has dedicated about 35% of the country to wildlife as the primary land use. And that is significant for long-term conservation of all the species. The tourism is playing an important role by giving economic value to wildlife as the land use. In Botswana, tourism is number 2 on the GDP after mining, and it's the biggest job provider in the country. So by coming to Botswana as a tourist, you are actually also supporting conservation through job creation and supporting local businesses in the area.
Elephants there, elephants there, and then elephants there. Elephants everywhere. At some stage, you just have to take in what's happening in front of you and realize that this moment may never happen again. And I was slightly overwhelmed by that. The sheer beauty and incredible scenes playing out in front of me was truly spectacular. Every time I think that I've got enough elephant shots, it just gets better, the behavior gets better. And this is the perfect place to actually come and film elephants or photograph elephants. We've had some interesting sightings today. A little one running to the water, screaming, to having a bit of a tussle in the water. It's just been incredible. And I think this is day 3 or 4. As it goes on, it's just going to get better. Saw lions this morning, wild dogs, we saw a leopard, and the sun setting in Botswana, and a lot of elephants. That is just truly special. The following morning, we had to de-rig camp and leave for our next destination, the Mobabe Depression.
This morning we're going to actually follow the road in a northeasterly direction, and we're going to actually go to the Mobabe Depression. And this, if you see on the right hand side, this river actually flows into the Mobabe Depression. So we're after the big massive herds of buffalo and elephants, and hopefully we'll be able to find them tomorrow. And from there onwards, photograph, photograph, photograph. So we are on the move, and if the places we're going to is anything like the places we've already been to, I am very, very excited. This place is magic. The sightings we've seen in the couple of days has been unbelievable. It's the most sightings I've ever had in such a short time period. Whew, here we go.
How's it?
We just arrived at our accommodation and it's tents. So we're not setting up camp tonight, which is cool. There's the tent in the background, but let's go ask Mr. Mick van Zyl for a tour of the accommodation. Mr. Mick van Zyl, please take me on a tour of the accommodation, please.
This is the latest in the 5-star accommodation here at this camp.
What's the name?
Juvurecha.
Juvurecha.
Yeah, I won't repeat that.
Just a side note, Mr. Cameraman. This is exclusively for us because this is a hunting ground or a hunting camp, and normal tourists like us would not normally ending up here. So Mr. Winterbach has helped us to get this beautiful place, and Mick will take you through the beautiful accommodation.
So if you step inside the abode, well, what can I tell you? It's spacious. There's a nice bed. It looks pretty new. A little bedside tables with lighting. I don't know. I'll figure it out when it's dark.
Bathroom.
And then if you follow me, here's a traditional 1920s antique luggage tables, 2 of them.
1920.
1920, might be 1921, I'm not 100% sure, I can check on that. Here, this is pretty decent considering where we are.
Woo. Yes,
Shower.
please.
We've got the porcelain throne, little wash basin, and I see there's 220-volt power, so I might just be able to plug the cruiser in and get a bit of a charge going on the battery, which will be a good thing. I'm looking forward to sleeping here tonight.
Mr. Mick van Saal, what are you doing?
I'm making cheese and onion rolls without tomato. Cheese and onion.
Cheers. Dirk, tell us what you think about this campsite.
Well, this camp is very nice. It's hot at the moment, but it's nice and neat inside. And we're staying here for 3 nights.
Look at that, people.
Yeah. And I'm happy about that. 3 nights in a comfortable bed. Not that the rooftop tent's not comfortable, but it's nice.
It's the half an inch of butter that does it.
Hey Dirk, glad to see you again.
Are you well?
I'm absolutely gorgeous, darling. We're gonna go to the hook at Mogotlo. Show Mick what he's been missing for the last 2-3 days. Just like to try and give him an idea.
That's a spot where a lot of the elephant breeding herds come down to the river. So they come down quite a big embankment of the old Kalahari sands. And it's like a little bay there in the corner of the river where they go and drink and bath.
Beautiful.
Beautiful spot and beautiful light.
Nazai.
Are you joining us?
Yes, I am, of course.
Fantastic.
Nazai. Nazai.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to flight IM 4x4 6GP on our way to Mogotlo. We will be expecting some elephants, buffalo hopefully, some serious wildlife in Botswana. So put on your seatbelts, have a safe flight, and with this Ironman 4x4 Pro suspension, we will have a splendid landing. See you just now.
But where's your safe belt?
I better start putting miles on my...
We were in the perfect spot, the perfect light, with the perfect company. And soon enough, the elephants arrived.
Wandering. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm living. Yeah, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven? Thought by now pain would be my friend. I know that discomfort was a means to an end, but I'm lying in one.
just witnessed an amazing tussle between two young bulls. It's sort of when they come into their maturity and they start sushing each other out, and they were doing that for about half an hour, and it was amazing to actually see the interaction while we were sitting here on the bank with all the other guys. It's all signs of them being cut or being actually pushed out of the herd. One of them, really funny, got into the water, nose dived, first snorkel up, got some air, and it's just all part of the playfulness of how these elephants just interact in a big herd. I mean, we just saw about 50-60 elephants coming through, and that was really special. Part of it is also the photography, sitting here, being able to actually capture the moment. Clients fly in from all over the world to be able to sit here on the Khwai River and just enjoy the quietness of what we just witnessed. Having all those elephants running through the water was actually quite spectacular, because the noise of the water, the splashing and the trumpeting and the bellowing was really, really amazing. And we are still here for a few more nights, so we're looking forward to tomorrow, perhaps see the same thing.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, what are we doing?
Dirk, this morning we're going to go to the Mobabe Depression, a enigma in many people's tick box. So now we're going to look at the western side this morning, see what we can get. Hopefully we'll get some hippos and elephants, and most likely buffaloes. Am I right, Christian?
That's 100% correct, Will.
Fantastic. And guys, hold on to your hats. It's going to be a drive and a half. Thank you very much, Dirk.
Dankie vir jou, Will.
The first stop in the Mobabe Depression is a waterhole where hippos come back from the previous night's grazing and settle back into the cool water in anticipation of the afternoon's heat.
We're sitting here at the Hippo Pool, and I just counted 65 hippos that's gathered here. At night they go out grazing, and then early morning they come back into this pool for the rest of the day. Southern end we have the Khwai River ending in the Mobabe Depression, creating a fairly big wetland spot here that very, very few people know about. The Mobabe Depression, because it's an old lake, it's got a clay layer as the base, which is also important in terms of the surrounding area, because we're sitting on the biggest sandpit in the world, starting in the central in the Congo, coming through Angola into Botswana and Namibia, and ending in South Africa.
We got another great sighting, a group of lions that had mud all over. Dr. Christian mentioned that if you are a lion in the delta, you need to know how to swim.
Okay, so we found 5 young lions on the edge of the Mobabe Depression here. They're all between 18 months and 2 years old. 4 of them are males. The 5th one moved off, so I'm not sure if it's also a male or a female. There's no adults around, and they've probably been kicked out very recently from their natal pride. They're all full of mud, and they probably tried to hunt in the marsh area early last night. If you look at the lion's face, where the whisker comes out, there's a little black dot, and the arrangement of those dots are as unique as a fingerprint for humans. So we use these whisker spot patterns to identify the individuals, and then you can keep track of what is happening with individual lions over their lifetime. And the left side and the right side are different, as is your left hand and right hand fingerprints.
In the next episode, we explore the depression further, head up towards the Chobe National Park, and do a bit of proper four-wheel driving.